Next is number 9 on the agenda, 25 CUP 0008. Jude.
Jude Mattingly, Office of Planning Staff, 444 South 5th Street. Next slide, please. Okay, the request is a conditional use permit to allow short-term rental of 2 dwelling units that are on the same piece of land, both of which are not the primary residence of the owner. The property is zoned R5A within a traditional neighborhood form district. The unit 1 contains 2 bedrooms, which would allow for 6 guests maximum, and the accessory structure, the rear unit, contains 1 bedroom with 4 guests maximum. There's off-street parking available in a parking pad that was recently constructed in addition to on-street parking, and there are no short-term rentals approved via conditional use permit within 600 feet. Here's an aerial of the photo. You can see the main structure is on left side and the 1-bedroom unit is on the right-hand side. Here's an aerial to give zoning context, mostly residential with obviously Frankfurt Avenue up to the north being commercial. Next slide, please. Here's some aerials of the subject property. This is the front of the property. You can see the vacant lot almost looking like it's not. It's all the same piece of land, but big yard. Next slide, please. The arrow that I have put there, that is where the parking pad was constructed. They had to get urban design team approval because it's within a historic preservation district. Next slide, please. This is some site context. If you were headed down the dead end of Albany Avenue, you can see you would have to take this unnamed alley to access the second unit and the newly constructed parking pad. This is a Google Images photo of the unnamed alley. You can, again, just to reiterate, the newly constructed parking pad, which is not photographed, obviously, is on the right-hand side with the 1-bedroom unit being right behind that fence. So the proposal is adequately justified for approval. The existing use is residential. It's located in a predominantly residential area, appears to meet all the standards of the conditional use permit, and there is adequate parking for the use. And your required actions will be to either approve or deny the conditional use permit to allow non-owner occupied short-term rentals in residential zoning. Both units would have to be independently registered as short-term rentals. Any
Questions for Jude? Thank you. Mr. Hutchins? I have 3 speaker cards in support. Are you speaking and?
I'm Paula Hutchins.
Paula, is Patrick Hutchins also speaking?
He's my husband and he's not feeling well, so I left him at home.
All right. Okay. All right. Name and address, please.
I'm Paula Hutchins, 215 Albany Avenue, Louisville, Kentucky, 40206.
Hutchins, do you swear that the testimony you're about to give today is the truth?
I do.
Please proceed.
Thank you. Hi, we've owned the property since about 2001, and since that time until recently, it's been long-term rental for us. In the front house, we call the front house, and in the cottage, all have been long-term. We recently, about a year ago, put the cottage to midterm rental. Nurses, et cetera, coming in, renting it. And then the front house is currently a midterm rental. Like, we have a contract that goes up until April. We are looking at doing we're applying for short-term rental. We feel good benefits for the city and county just because of the transient tax that we get, that the county and the city would get off of the rental. We are looking at doing it hopefully just for increased income. But also, honestly, we renovated actually both places in 2020, did a significant renovation to the front house. We took it down to the studs. That picture that you saw, the front of the house, that's not what it looks like. That's an old Google map that actually I have asked repeatedly if they could update. It's not happened yet because honestly, potential renters, when you put in the address and you take the little man and you walking down the street, you see that. You don't see that it's actually been renovated. Those awnings are gone and the entire place was rented. We had to go through approval at that time as well to make all the changes that we did. So, but we've put a lot of money in it. I use the term heart and soul has gone into the house. We've owned it for a long time. And hoping not only that the short term may increase the revenue, but also a little wear and tear on the house. Long-term renters can cause a little bit of damage to your home. And we have just, like I said, took it down to the studs and totally redid it. We had a neighborhood meeting on the 30th. And at that time, I think there were 4 in attendance parking issues were discussed. And when we started the process, Jude had suggested, Paula, if you can get it approved, you might want to put in a parking pad. So we went ahead and did that, got approval to do that. It will hold 3 what I call standard sized cars or 2 larger vehicles. And so we got that done. And then one of the issues that was discussed was security issues, which I understand. Like I said, we've had the place rented for decades now, and we've not had any problem. We're out at the property a lot because we take care of the yards in the front and in the back, and very, I don't like the term persnickety, but I want to keep the property up. So I finally took over all the yard work because nobody was doing it. I didn't feel like we were being good neighbors. We let the tenants continue to do it because they just didn't quite do it up to my standard. As far as the security issues, we'll be putting in security monitors or cameras on each side so we can see people coming and going. I know that was one concern that was discussed, and I understand because in our personal residence here in Louisville, we have a rental directly across from our personal home. So I understand the importance of the security of people coming and going. We feel like we have, the front house would have 6 people max. There's 2 bedrooms and then a sleeper sofa. And then the cottage would have 4 people max. There is 1 bedroom and then there's also a sleeper sofa. We plan to limit the number of cars to 4. That should be more than enough, even if each place is rented, to be able to accommodate that. Our last long-term renter, he moved out in October. He was there a year. He had 3 vehicles, and even at that time, we did not have the parking pad, and we never had any problem. He had 2 cars and a motorcycle. And a lot on that street, people are very fortunate because they have garages and carports in the back, and that's where most people will park their vehicles. But we've never had any parking complaints. Let's see, if we are approved, generally we would use VRBO or Airbnb, and they have very strong vetting services to check out the potential renters that are coming in. So those are the 2 platforms that we would consider using to rent if approved. We have a strict policy of your quiet hours from like 8 p.m. 10 p.m. until 8 p.m. the next morning. We look very closely if anybody local wants to rent it, because sometimes that can be a red flag of a prom party or a homecoming, things of that nature. So we will keep a very close eye on that as well. Let's see. I think that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions? I don't know if I've left anything out.
So will you be managing the property?
Yes, ma'am, I will be. Cleaning it and taking the inquiries from the individuals. We have, actually, we have a small place in Lawrenceburg that we just recently put on Airbnb. So I'm taking care of all the inquiries that come in, all the yard work, all the cleaning that's going to be done. We will be managing it ourselves.
And how far do you live from the property in case there were to be a need to reach you?
About 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay. Any unresolved issues from the neighborhood meeting that you're aware of?
No, there's a young lady here that is, I think she's going to come up and talk. I think she had mentioned wanting to put a fence up between the properties. I think there was some issue about looking at the parking pad. I'm not for sure. I can't speak on, we just chatted just a few minutes, but.
You'll have an opportunity.
Yeah. But other than that, no. On the 30th, when we had the neighborhood meeting, my husband was in the hospital, so I couldn't attend. So Mike Fogel is a realtor who has Airbnb properties here in Louisville. He attended on my behalf and took care of everything, well, answering questions, etc.
Okay. Anything further for Ms. Hutchins? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Holt? Good afternoon. Name and address, please.
Harold Holt, 217 Albany Avenue, Louisville, Kentucky, 40206.
Mr. Holt, do you swear the testimony you're about to give today is the truth?
Yes.
Please proceed.
Oh, I just have one question, but I saw the applicant we talked to the applicant just a few minutes ago. And I had a question that's been resolved, but I do want to say I'm a supportive, been a neighbor there, and Ms. Hutchins, I hope I pronounced it right. She mentioned the word persnickety. I don't know if I'd go that far or not, but all I know is when her yard is mowed, I better get on mine because I want to stay in tune there. But they did renovate, and it's a little jewel box there that they've established there, and I think they'll do well with the Airbnb. And if they vet the Airbnb folks as much as they have their renters, they've all been excellent neighbors. I think it's going to go well.
Okay.
I support him. Thank you. That's all I got.
Thank you, sir. You went online to speak? Okay. All right. We have someone else who wants to speak. I just had 3 speaker cards. Ma'am, did you want to speak? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. At this point, I'll close the public hearing. We will move into deliberations on 25 CUP 0008, short-term rental on Albany Avenue. We have the staff report. Note that there are conditions of approval on page 7 of 7. We've had an opportunity to hear the testimony. Are there any questions related to what we've heard today? No 600-foot issue.
And I do want to clarify, so the request on the staff report, I think, has a minor typo. It says the short-term rental of a dwelling unit, but it's actually 2 dwelling units. It does refer to the 2 dwelling units in the case summary itself. It's just in the request.
There need to be a separate address for one of the units. Are they both 215 Albany?
They're probably,
Go on.
I was just said they're probably already separately addressed if they're already using them as long-term, if they have been using them as long-term rentals. It could just be 217A and B or 1 and 2.
Okay.
I would be careful. I will note this about requiring addresses, not to say that was where you were going with this, because that's a little bit in the hands of MetroSafe, and we can advise them. So if you ever felt that was necessary, just form that condition as a recommendation, not as a requirement.
All right, thank you. I'm not aware that we've ever required that, but that's good information to know. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So closing the public hearing in deliberations on 25 CUP 0008. Anything else, members?
Madam Chair, if there's no discussion, I'm ready to make a motion.
Please proceed.
Thank you. With regard to case number 25 CUP 0008, location 215 Albany Avenue, I move that we approve the conditional use permit to allow short-term rental of 2 dwelling units that is not the primary residence of the owner. Base that on the staff report and testimony heard today. Want to bring attention to the conditions on page 7 that a maximum of 6 guests will be allowed in unit 1 and a maximum of 4 guests will be allowed in unit 2. Also, just want to point out the second condition of approval that you must register this within 30 days and also annually. So definitely want to make sure that you put that on your calendar each year.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second, forward.
All right. It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the conditional use permit to allow the short-term rental of 2 dwelling units, 215 Albany Avenue. Roll call, please.
Beda,
Yes.
Ozus,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Louis,
Yes.
Bond.
Yes. The conditional use permit has been approved. Thank you.